Hello all, welcome to the Dune Qualifiers. I am your host, Beefrog, and we're going to watch an absolutely dank game, a clash of titans if you will. We've got Gorilla Mentat, Lolgek, PM Sag, and Tigra. Um, Gorilla Mentat playing the Fremen, Lolgek playing Harkonnen, PM Sag playing Smugglers, and Tigra playing Ecaz. So this is going to be a fun one for sure. We're going to see a lot of aggressive strats from both sides. So we'll see how that works out for them. For the start, I think we're going to watch Lolgek just for a little bit. Might be a little more going on from the Harkonnen POV. Oh, he appears to still not be in the lobby. There we go. So we see a double trooper opening. Pretty good. It's pretty standard for Harkonnen. And we see that they're separated from each other, so they're not directly near each other. So it's going to be very interesting. It seems whoever gets the sync is going to have a much better position in this game. That's very, very nice. So the spice fields are in a good position. I don't see the traits just yet. He's kiting them very well. Yeah, he's immediately going for 4 troopers. Interesting. Don't usually see that because a lot of Harkonnens want to keep their costs down even if they're playing with the foot. But we'll see how this plays out. They'll very clearly want to get to each other very quickly, regardless of what kind of strategy they're going for. We see he's going for statescraft right at the start. Interesting. Maybe he's going for the tech that gives the interrogation center, which is really, really good for Harkonnen. Gives them a bunch of intel when they kill enemy units, including siege militia, which we might get to see this game. So very, very interesting, very, very nice. What are we looking at from the others? So PM Sag's taking multiple villages at once. It seems like he wants to minimize the amount of authority these villages are going to cost by taking a bunch of them at once to avoid the penalty. He also starts with 4 units. That's very interesting. He gets all 3 at once. Very well played. Looking at our friend Fremen, he seems to be scouting them. Ecaz and him are working well together, knowing where the enemies are, or at least assuming where they are. So very nice. He's shooting at a harvester. He's got 2 warriors. So they both look on a pretty equal playing field right now. He's going to go for manpower first. Interesting. So that usually shows that somebody's either going for a very economic Fremen via filling up their harvesting teams and printing out harvesting teams as much as possible, or they're going for a very militaristic approach. So we'll see which one that ends up being. It's usually quite unusual for Fremen to invest too heavy into manpower before they get ground command, because they really do need to preserve their cash, as Fremen aren't the best money makers early. So we'll see how he plays with that. He's got 2 ornithopters, but he's definitely using them well, and he's going straight for desert wisdom. Interesting. So you will definitely want to get the additional science from wind strength in his regions. So it seems like he'll also be placing down a lot of wind traps, maybe make some aggressive plays with worms. We'll see. It's looking very interesting already. Give the Lolgek another look. He hasn't gone to pillaging anything just yet, and it doesn't seem like he's going into instill fear. So it's quite interesting that he's only on 2 territories. He's also not building militia. Very interesting. He might be building it at the moment, but it seems a bit doubtful. He probably should just be spamming militia as quickly as possible. Because Harkonnen suffers a 10% malice, to any village that does not have any militia, and then they get 5% production in a village per militia. Right? So, oh, there. We finally realized. Very nice. Either he finally realized or he printed out too many troopers at the start. Could be either or. Give PM Sag a look. Alright, he's claimed himself an experimental ornithopter. It's a bit too early to be getting Laptopter event just yet. But we'll be able to see their events soon. In about 15 days. He seems to be spending a lot of plaster. Maybe he's hoping his friend's gonna bankroll him a little bit in that aspect, since he doesn't have that many buildings. Since Smugglers is going into expansion techs early, it makes me think that maybe they're going for a more water-focused approach. It's really hard to tell. Smugglers kind of go wild on the tech tree and you have no idea what they're after. I assume he's got foot in the door as well, since this is a 2v2. You always want to get that bonus. Yeah, just taking criminal barons and then dipping. What a good idea. He's pinging his friend, letting him know that Ecaz is going for a play on the polar sink. So it's always very difficult to take a territory once you have it. I mean, take a territory off somebody rather than, just protect it. So he's probably going to take that initiative, grab it before anyone else can, especially against two aggressive factions. He's really going to need Gorilla Mentat to come in and help him, because almost certainly he's going to be attacked immediately. But we did see Gorilla Mentat put down a recruitment office first, so we'll see what he does with that. He's going for composite materials, and he's also printing out another harvester. So I'm not sure where he's going to send that exactly. He's also building plascrete on his splash field. Very interesting. I know a lot of Fremen like doing that when they're going for Mason Guild related builds, so we'll see how that works out. He definitely needs to keep an eye on his ally though, because his ally is definitely going to be assaulted soon. Lucky his ally is literally one territory off the polar sink, so that was very lucky map gem for him. He's got a very good position there. I can also see the region right next to it, the region Xeno. That sounds really, really good, because if they can get that territory, if they can consolidate on it and build a bunch of missile batteries, it'll be very difficult for two separated opponents to attack at the same time. That way they can either go into one direction to fight one of them, or the other direction to attack the other, and that way they'll get a better matchup before the other person can engage into the fight. So this is a really good position for those two. We'll see how they use it. But Fremen definitely needs to start printing out more units. He definitely needs to get ground command, because if he doesn't, he's in a very awkward position against these two very aggressive factions, who definitely seem like they want a piece. So we've got the land strat up right now. It seems like they almost certainly want the resources from pillaging villages. Fremen and Smugglers are definitely letting their teammates down in terms of the land strat. We've got diplomatic committee, research investments, and private mandates go entirely to Smugglers. Interesting. So Ecaz didn't really make a play for the extra pillage rewards. That's interesting, not exactly unexpected. And we see that Chiani got value as well. Now Harkonnen needs to stop what they're doing to go kill some rebellions. Luckily, the rebellion for his friend Ecaz spawned directly on the polar sink, where he already had his army, so he's very happy to see that. We can see Harkonnen's already dipping into the red, but you heard the intro of this game. You know, Baron Harkonnen loves to paint it red. He loves to have minus 600 cash at any moment. So we'll see what he makes with that. He'll likely very quickly make it back. He's got a siege right next to him. He's eyeing that stuff out. Like, he's very, very happy to see that. What about PM Sag? I assume he's trying to mass out military. Yeah, he's going straight for a recruitment initiative, which is Smuggler's version of ground command, which is going to give him the 20% manpower production. It's very common for builds that revolve around manpower production. What they'll do is they'll take that, and they'll also put the recruitment center, main base building, in their main base as quickly as possible. For smugglers especially, that will give them an extra tech boost, and it'll also give them much higher manpower production, so they can keep up with everybody. Since he's got an ally as well, it doesn't seem. Yeah, he has Staban, so he'll be able to spam the plus 2% manpower in his friend. So they'll have a manpower lead right from the start. It might not sound like a very significant amount, but already, like if you put down 3, that's already 6% value. So I see him pinging the space cruiser wreck. That's definitely a big target for sure. Especially since Ecaz has built their militia in the Polar Sync. Obviously, they're panicking a little bit. I see that Fremen is going directly for a territory right next to them, so that's very good. Smugglers definitely needs this win though. If Ecaz has a comparable army at this point in the game, they can really fuck him up. It seems like Smuggler's actually going to lose a territory as well. Yeah, okay, he reacted to it well. That's good. Now I want to look at Lolgek and see if he's helping his friend out, if he's going for the assault at the same time. Not quite. That's fine. Look at Gorilla Mentat. He's coming in to help his friend. He doesn't really have much units. He only has 2 units in building 1 warrior. That isn't good enough to fend off um, either Smuggler or Harkonnen. So it's going to hurt quite a bit. Ecaz is making the right play, deciding not to fight that. But yeah, if you don't have these techs early, you're going to be significantly at a disadvantage in comparison to people who do. So it's very common in 2v2s for people to do that. He's going for a missile battery, even though he's not the target. That's probably a pretty bad misplay, because he really needs to produce an army that can move and can help his friend out. I already see over the corner of my eye that Mr. Lolgek is losing his entire army to a siege. Okay, so he's made quite a bit of cash out of that. Pretty good. Let's get some Nefud value in this shit. So very nice. He's going for work ethics. Harkonnen usually likes to take work ethics a little bit earlier because it also gives 3 manpower production. So it's very good for these early rush strategies. He's letting his partner know that he needs them to back him up if Fremen also attack. Fremen has the ability to worm, so he should be very cautious of that, even though they have the Polar Sync blocking them. Fremen can always move around that. They always have a Icarab, so that can increase their worm speed. So yeah, you should also be very cautious. He's gonna definitely be rushing to 5k so he can give his friend as much intel as possible. But yeah, it doesn't seem like Fremen and Ecaz are in a great position here. They definitely prepared quite poorly for this. But it's alright, they can still make a comeback. It's not like Ecaz or Fremen is particularly hurt by this. And Fremen can always produce units at a pretty high rate and then just worm them over. I can also see that Harkonnen doesn't have enough manpower to put militia in a lot of his villages, which is extremely detrimental to Harkonnen. So because of that, his economy is in a bit of shambles right now. He's really gonna have to come back for this, lest he go into pretty hard debt here. He's gonna have to pull out some Pater economics here. He's going for combat drugs. Interesting. Don't usually see people going for combat drugs. Usually it's only scavenger team spam. But obviously he thought that he can use this to gain an extra power boost when he's versing the siege. So when he dies, he'll get additional value from that. So yeah, he's spamming it out on scavenger teams. It's usually the meta for Harkonnen once they've spammed it out on scavenger teams to spam it out on admin burden. So we'll have to see our opponents pivot into something that ignores admin burden, like mercenaries, or something that has a large staying value, like an army of Fedaykin, or Ecaz like mastered units. So we'll see exactly how that works. Seems like Ecaz has made the right call and decided to expand towards Harkonnen to drown them out, I believe. Smugglers is basically a fight they can't win, so they don't take it. That's very smart. They need to wait for their friend Fremen to help them out. So we'll go over to Gorilla Mentat and see how he's doing. Hopefully he's got himself ground command at this point. He's going into statescraft. He doesn't seem like he's getting anything in particular. He wants to. I can understand why he wants to do that because a Bene Gesserit would be really negative for things like admin burden, which require 2 infiltration in Landsrat, I believe. Sorry, they require 2 infiltration in Chome. So that definitely makes a lot of sense that he try to make rebellions happen if that goes through. He did end up supporting it, so maybe he just wanted to add a little bit of icing on the cake. That's fine too. It seems like he's got 3 harvesting crews out at the moment, which is really nice. Fremen really they don't work well in a team, but they work well on their own. So if you leave Fremen alone and you let them scale, they are just your late game carry. They're really strong. Looking at Ecaz as well, they have a lot of late game power as well, but they have to get to that level and they have to have more manpower than they do right now. We can see that they can't even take the polar sink isn't doing anything for them at the moment. As well as that, taking the polar sink early has forced them or put them in a position where going for the water extractor was the right play, and because of that, they're going to be lacking a lot of plascrete. So we'll see exactly how that works as Smuggler grinds them from EXP. I saw as well that Fremen has gone for their equivalent of border defense, I believe, which is an interesting call. It's certainly interesting. It's not necessarily the greatest call though. I don't think that's what his team needs. What his team definitely needs is a 40 CP Fremen army, screwing with this smuggler. But yet again, hindsight's a bitch. Maybe you'll realize that late game, at the end of this game. But his friend definitely needs help. He can't let his friend just be destroyed like this. He also needs to worry that when he does things like this and when he does counterattacks, that Harkonnen will counterattack him. So he needs to be in a position where he can survive that. So he's going straight for the spice field. Hopefully he'll get the refinery there. We'll see. And we'll go over and see Smuggler POV. Yes, Smugglers is of course having an absolute heyday. He's loving his life. He should definitely go for the army to make sure he can knock out some of their units. I don't see that Ecaz has any masterpieces at all. So that's definitely very bad. As well as that they're completely wiping out Ecaz's army here. Like, you really need these manpower buildings early in 2v2, otherwise this happens. 2v2 is a mode where tempo can really decide the game right off the bat. So especially losing this, I believe it's 20 manpower for those heavy militia each. As well as that, they'll probably get the water extractor for free. Fremen definitely needs to be there with his friend. If that doesn't happen, he just needs to scale as much as he can. He definitely needs to. Oh, he shouldn't be destroying the manpower. He should always be destroying the refinery there. I saw what he was doing. That was very unfortunate. Smuggler is very wrecker based. So Smugglers struggles with economy when they produce a lot of snipers because they're extremely expensive in comparison to other people's military. So having that military has definitely put him in an economic disadvantage, and we'll see exactly how his friend's going in terms of economy. Yeah, his friend's also sinking, even worse. So we'll have to see if he can keep this up. It's definitely not going to turn into a chone win for either of them. So if Fremen and Ecaz can take this opportunity to scale, they'll be in a good position when it comes to late game, because they're expending a lot of economy and a lot of effort to fight this early game. Harkonnen doesn't even have a harvester out at the moment, and yeah, I don't even know how they lost it. They can't rebuild it, so something's happening. But yeah, they're it looks like Fremen has got wiped out or had to retreat from Smuggler's territory. That's extremely bad for him. Like these aggressive plays against a very aggressive faction, they needed to have the main base building and the tech in order to boost their manpower production, because they're just never going to be able to scale it. They're never going to be able to get to their scaling. It seems like, yeah, smugglers will be able to take this region off Ecaz, which is extremely bad for Ecaz. It puts them in a very big plascrete deficit. But Fremen did actually build quite a lot of plascrete early, so hopefully he's helping out his friend and providing as much plascrete as he can. But he seems to be on it, so that's good. I got a chance to see Ecaz's economy for a moment there. It was okay. But yeah, it seems like his army got wiped out, so that's really, really bad. He needs to produce more manpower. Everything needs to be put on hold for manpower, manpower, manpower. Because they need to get up to at least 40 command points so they can hold the land that they're taking down there. Because it just seems like they're about to be wiped out. Yeah, they definitely need to take recruitment initiative. My apologies, that's the tech name. But yeah, you definitely need to take that. Going for E-Day as well, he doesn't have any sieges that he's aligned with nearby them. Other than this, maybe the siege that Harkonnens are constantly attacking at the moment. So it seems like his economy is definitely in a better position. Hopefully he's going to help out his ally before his ally sinks too hard with his sniper army. Oh, luckily he's in a positive position for his economy. He's stabilized. He doesn't have any drones, so his military capabilities are a little bit lower. So I assume he's going to be playing a little bit safer here in order to survive this. He has the option to place a bounty. So what's he going to put it on? I think he's going to put it on foreign recruitment, but we'll see. He doesn't want to give them any money, but at the same time, he can transfer his influence. He didn't do it, unfortunately, but he could put his influence to Harkonnen, and then Harkonnen could put their influence into voting for the bounty to put it on smugglers. That way, smugglers is almost guaranteed to get that resolution, and their opponents would have no choice either to vote for it and give them that resolution, or vote against them and lose the potential money. So that was a bit of a misplay on their part there. They could have definitely used that to make an exorbitant amount of cash, but didn't. Especially considering that Smugglers is maxed out on their influence, or was maxed out on their influence, and could have very much used that. Space Cruiser Wreck with Smugglers is also extremely strong. Everybody knows how broken the Wraith is this patch, so I really do need to be worried about that, like come late game as well. Fremen does not start with any scraps, so they're not in the greatest position to to put out their own flagship, the Altar. So he's just chasing them down, making sure that they have no manpower production. Ecaz must be feeling absolutely terrible right now. Interestingly, they don't have any military main base buildings at all. Harkonnen should definitely be helping out his friend, but maybe he's sinking his economy as well. Yeah, main base buildings are one of the most important things you can get in a 2v2 and just in the game in general. So not seeing them prioritize this is a little bit unfortunate. They really need to work together in order to plant them down as quickly as possible. If they want as much tempo as they can get. 3-slot military Harkonnen and 3-slot military Smugglers is both extremely strong tempo, and it also works with their other win cons. For example, Smugglers has more military, so they can take more pillages at once for Chome. Harkonnen wants a bigger army, and they want more power on those units, so they can then sacrifice those units to sieges, to Shire-Lud, to enemy bases for cash. We haven't seen Harkonnen scavenger team one of Fremen's territories as well, so it'll be interesting to see if that happens. He does need to watch out a little bit here though, because if he well, I guess it doesn't really matter that much. I was looking at his manpower and thinking that if he levels up a couple of those units, he might run out of manpower. But looking at his manpower and making 58, that doesn't seem reasonable at all. They just seems like in an incredibly overwhelming position. Definitely taken the advantage. Fremen will need to make a comeback here for his friend's sake, but he absolutely cannot interfere with this. He seems like his friend's already got 2 territories as well. He's taking the worm nest as Fremen, so very interesting. I don't even think he's using the worm nest, so it's a bit of a misplay there as well. Once again, just no recruitment initiative, man. No recruitment initiative. It's the basis of your manpower production. You cannot miss it, man. This is month 3 already. These builds need to have 3-slot military, and they need to have at least the recruitment office. Recruitment center, and the training center. At this point in the game, it's very reasonable for builds to have that. All the pretty much meta builds at the moment will have that at this time. Obviously, they've been distracted quite a bit, but yeah, this is clearly where they're going wrong here. In terms of what they can do to defend themselves, because they're just going to be walked all over, and also the plascrete, like losing this much plascrete on all the buildings that they've put down there has been very detrimental to them. As well as that, Fremen warriors have a mod, sorry, not a mod, well, their base ability, right? To eliminate, I believe it's 15% of enemy power. So Fremen really needs to be down there with Ecaz, even if they're not a big part of the army. Because that 15% malice on somebody who doesn't have 3-slot military could be very advantageous. He definitely shouldn't be looking at mods right now. Mods are the last thing he should be looking at, but he is. So we'll see what the man's cooking. He's got 2,000 plascrete. He needs to send that to his friend. You cannot hoard resources in 2v2s. You've got to always give those resources to your friend as soon as you see them. But in the scuffle of war, things can be missed. So we'll look at Lolgek again. See, he's doing well. It seems like they'll be going for a main base assault soon. For certain, they're definitely in the position to do it, and they need to eliminate one of their opponents now to eliminate the chance of a comeback. He's got adrenaline addiction, so they're fully up to 65 command points now. I believe Lolgek is also, PM Sag is also at 65 command points. I'd be incredibly surprised. I guess he doesn't have command posts. That would be it, probably. I doubt he doesn't have the tech at this point. He might lose his entire army to Worm right now. No, luckily he noticed. Very nice. But yeah, Ecaz is absolutely struggling right now. He's crying out for help. Yeah, it seems like Harkonnen wants to take a forward territory and use that. Smugglers has got up to 10k, so they can actually put in a hidden explosives into Ecaz. Harkonnen's armor shred is already extremely strong with the gunners with the demo plus 500% attack speed mods. However, having the additional armor shred is always really good as well. I believe it's minus 20 anyway, so just like getting it instantly eviscerated is really, really nice. unfortunately, it costs quite a lot of intel to place that building down. Fortunately, however, he's friends with Harkonnen, so he's gonna have quite a lot of that. Ooh, labor rights definitely seems like something they're gonna want to pin on. What's his face? They're not using bounties at all. Once again, interesting. But I guess they don't want to give any value to their opponents because they don't really know what they can do with it. They could shit out mercenaries, for example. I don't believe anyone has 10% at the moment, but there's no spectator mode, so I can't exactly see. It seems like he's just going for flat damage. I assume he wants to defend or take the main base's fire versus um, when they assault a main base. So he wants to keep that fire off the Cerberuses. Um, and as well as that, they're just a high damage unit that doesn't have to, you don't want to be too much in debt in case Ecaz tries to counterplay Harkonnen and Scab Team right when they're about to go in for an attack. So it seems like they're definitely going in for an attack right now. They're going to take them out, I think. This is a almost certainly lost cause here. They're absolutely eviscerating them. So we see scab teams. I'm not sure who placed it. I think it was Harkonnen. But this definitely seems like a GG at this point. This is not going to be easy for them to come back from. Just being able to eviscerate their entire army here is so good. It's probably making Harkonnen so much money. We'll give them a quick look. Yeah, it seems like Harkonnen's definitely happy to lose their entire army to do this much damage. I mean, who can blame them? They're doing so much. They've got Scavenger Team down 4 times as well, which is so good. Seems like Smugglers is just all inning, just sending more and more units to go in for the attack. He's buying Chom as well, but I assume that's just to secure mercenaries or to have a backup win con if Fremen comes in with a full army. Let's see what Fremen's doing right now. Fremen's coming in to help his friend. Didn't seem like Fremen had much going for him though. Not much manpower, not much units. Yeah, only 20 command points late month 3 is just unfortunately not good enough to save his friend. He's going to lose this fight against the Harkonnen militia, or at least not win the fight unscathed. Yeah, it's a little more than tickling the Harkonnen at this point. Rest in pepperoni, unfortunately. We've lost the Ecaz. We might see a surrender here by Fremen. But a good game played by all. Mistakes were made. Things could have been done differently, but otherwise, like it was well played. We might see Gorilla Mentat. So fuck it. I'm just gonna fight you guys to the end. And if that happens, we'll see the army come at him again. Yep, looks like they're going straight for it. They're not worrying about things like economy. With Smugglers having the polar sink, that's a whole lot of water. As well as that, he also has Boot as well, Water Merchant, as well as Army Logistics as well, which is a little... the replacement tech for Army Logistics that the Smugglers have. I can't remember the name off my head at the moment, but it's the one that gives 10 water, so they have that as well. Smugglers doesn't have a penalty for taking regions that are far away from their main base, so they're pretty incentivized in this position to take a territory right next to Fremen, and they can really gun in on him. Not that Harkonnen really intends to heal through any fights at all. So yeah, the map gen definitely seems in the favor of Fremen. Maybe Fremen can pull something off here because it seems completely impossible for Smugglers. Even Smugglers with caffeine pills will have a hard time getting through that territory. And on the other side, he'll have to go through the, I believe it's the worm nest, so it's not going to be the greatest traversal for Smugglers. But yeah, playing a person down is going to be absolutely terrible. See as well that it's he does have the ability to put in well, he put in the damages militia for 50% of its health, so not even the investment that Fremen put in early for their militia will end up working against the smugglers. Unfortunately, it seems like they're hard counted. They don't have Banerjee though, so they won't be able to heal up in that territory. So maybe with enough good kiting, Fremen can pull something off here. We'll have to see. But no, even with all that investment, they don't last long at all. And there's not even free companies in this army. He now has 65 command points, so he got that through command post. So yeah, we've all seen how disgusting the smuggler army can be. When it's backed up by Harkonnen as well, it's a bit too much. Yep, and we see that annex cost reduction getting its value right here. So you can stop taking that region back there and take a region right next to Fremen. Not only that, but it's his spice field as well, his starting spice field. This is like Harkonnen's making plans to attack the other region, and to attack him from another side. We'll give Logek's view a little look. He's rich as all hell from what I saw last time. Yeah, he's actually making a scalable economy now. He's got a full army of mercenaries, so not exactly unexpected. When you've hit that point with Harkonnen, you can really do this. He doesn't have 3-slot military though, so he's a little weaker than most than the standard, but it's still mercenary spam. It's still very strong. He's making sure his friend pays the tax just in case. It's always good to be safe rather than sorry. You can always pillage that. I'm not sure if he has Install Fear or whether it would matter, but he gets some value out of that as well. Landstride Witnesses would be amazing since there's a 2v1 right now. So if they do that, they will get the equivalent of 6 Landstride Guards to help defend, and Fremen will lose much more overwhelmingly. Harkonnen's strength in having all these mercenaries as well, since they're all ranged units. Unlike the regular Harkonnen military, he can stay back and let his ally take the shots for him. They don't have back alley doctor or anything, but just keeping them alive for longer means they get more stacks off their passive ability. So yeah, we'll see how Fremen's going if they're able to overcome their manpower issues. Not quite, only making 18 at the moment. He's going to lose that spice field, which is going to put him in an awkward position. Definitely needs to take this to make sure it doesn't get taken off over by neutrals. But it might not make that much of a difference. He's allied with Sinmara, but I don't believe Sinmara is in the territory with mountains. So he won't actually be able to use it with his investment into Ide. He's accidentally grabbed his harvester as well. And he's sacrificing a unit for shits and giggles, I guess. It's fine, maybe he just misclicked. He doesn't have anything he can do at the moment. He's completely lost. He needs to maybe take more regions if he can worm out a couple of units. Maybe that could be a saving grace of his, but it's really not. He needs to spam manpower everywhere and just hope for the best. He will definitely lose this though. Unfortunately, this is a very honorable death from my man Gorilla Mentat. I didn't see hidden explosives go off, so maybe they don't have that. No, it seems like they do. Maybe I just didn't see it. smugglers a look. They're going well. They can't really attack the ranged units because the ranged units will only be even stronger in this engagement. If you had 40 command points, maybe you could do something because their forces were divided. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get that. This definitely secures the win, so glory to the victors. Mr. PM Sag and Logek will be going on to, I believe, the quarterfinals and then the finals after that. Hopefully these boys win, and I wish them all the best. GG, boys. G fucking G. So I'll mute them and see if they have anything to say.
But the army was just too important. It had just too much momentum.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it's, I think, just much
2 vs 2 is probably a little bit difficult, I think. Yeah. Let's unmute them. Befrog also.
Everyone or
and Tiger. I can hear Tiger, Commentated, and Befrog right now.
Let me unmute all of them.
Can we unmute the rest?
Yeah, you can unmute. We are done.
Befrog? Is the recording ended?
No, it hasn't ended just yet. I was seeing if you guys wanted to say anything before I end the recording, or I can just cut it here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, let's. I mean, we want to say, like, you know, just maybe let them know they can. Let me try to do it again.
I think they have unmuted us. They can hear us.
I can hear you. I can also hear you.
Me too. I don't have anything to say.
Yeah, for me, we actually want to do some jump rush. But then I thought, yeah, Ecaz doesn't have army in his villages. Then I thought, yay! Let's pillage it.
Yay.
Let's build Tiger.
To be honest, we were kind of waiting for this to happen, and obviously the candidate is it could have been me if you were like super, but you didn't need to go after me because I was too far away. So.
All I have to say, I was too close to enemy, so they just.
But that's usually the case. Like every faction is usually pretty close.
They just pressed me.
So they just
had no chances.
2v2s are usually like a 2v1, and as Fremen you have to just try.
You could try to expand towards your back, backwards, not towards the middle.
Me?
But Tiger's Spice Field was also near. I don't know that going for the polar single is really smart if your teammate cannot connect.
Basically, we went to do that.
I think with Ecaz Smugglers is the worst nightmare. I think you just try to not get involved in anything.
You mean
for
Ecaz and Fremen?
As long as you can until you have the big army.
You mean Ecaz and Fremen or?
Nah, Tiger was completely alone. Tiger, you had only 2 villages, right?
What?
You only had 2 villages.
I had 1 village actually.
Yeah, at the end, yeah, because I liberated 1. Yeah, you were kind of hopeless at the end. That's going to do with 2. You really have to help.
I died with honor.
That was cool, man.
At least.
Let me before, just in case you're still recording, maybe we can do some little analysis for people,
Yeah, I'm still recording.
But this
okay, you can say something, Befrog. What do you think?
Yeah, it was a good game. I said a lot of my comments as the game was going on, but I saw that both I really like Ecaz doesn't get the tech that gives them 20% manpower production, do they? Or maybe they do, but it's also the one that
they don't.
It turns them units into mastered units, correct? So I saw
I
that
think
as
that'd
well,
be place,
that Fremen went for Fremen didn't go
Yeah.
for that. They didn't go for the 30% manpower main base building either. They went for the militia tech against the smuggler, which is an interesting choice, my friend. But that was probably the big blunder there. But I don't think you thought that one through, unfortunately. You're right. You did
What is?
fight that hard. Like you had a really good early game plan to consolidate in the middle, but you needed to have a military to go with that. And because you didn't have the main base building, nor the tech that gives you the 20% additional manpower production, it's why you didn't have the 40 command points to help your friend. If you did, that fight could have swayed pretty heavily in your favor. But it was a good fight though.
Yeah,
It was a good try. Like I liked what you were trying to do with distracting Harkonnen and smugglers by attacking their territories with no militia. That was pretty dank. I also saw that there was quite a few moments where Lolgek and PM
oh,
Sag were deep into the red, and and probably
Buford?
could have been tipped over like a
Just
Jenga tower.
yeah.
Yeah, I made a
Yeah,
mistake
no,
there, a small mistake. But
it
because
was
Logek told me I had to stay there, and I interpreted that I had to stay in that region. I was already running away, but made a mistake there.
Bifrost?
Yep.
Just one question. When you said about me getting the militia take, what militia are you talking about?
You were getting like border defense for the extra militia, slot, but Smugglers gets the underworld, underground headquarter.
Oh no, it wasn't for that, but I agree that was kind of stupid. It was because of the investment office, because they have this 20% more economic production in so many villages.
Ah,
That
yeah.
was the only reason, but it was kind of stupid, to be honest. Yeah,
I don't think that
I
works
agree.
on Fremen harvesters though. I might be
I
wrong
mean,
on
I mean,
that, but I don't think it does.
no, well, it should work, but I mean, still is maybe in a free for all, but in the 2-2 it's just too greedy for only for four spots in every village, right? So that
Yeah,
was kind of stupid.
exactly.
I agree.
If somebody wrestles tempo from you, right, they've got a really good advantage at that point. As long as they've got 65 CP and they both have it and you don't, then you're in a pretty icky situation. But you fought it well, boys. You really did. So be proud of yourselves. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, our plan was pretty suicidal, to be honest. We were like embassy first, or Mason Guild, just to have the money and the production going, the embassy for the treaties, then the manpower production, or intelligence agency. So I just went for intelligence agency first, and but it was completely suicidal. Our idea was to get 6 agents as soon as we can, to be able to get administrative burden so that Lolgek couldn't recruit units. It was the only way we could kill him. So, but yeah, I mean, you guys have a huge army way before that, so I think we went a little bit too greedy. But yeah, the polar scene was just a distraction, to be honest. Literally distraction. It was a reason for you guys to go there instead of going to Ecaz main base. That was the only reason, to be honest.
It was very well
You
played
just
by
bought it.
it was very well played by you as well. I believe PM Sagre that when you took the space cruiser wreck right next to Mr. Tiger, the Ecaz, which was really good. It was a really good defensive spot, and you could go in and pillage and start destroying all this plascrete. Like that was really the tipping point, making that play there. So good on you, man. And as well
I
as
saw that also. We actually want to go for John Rush, but then we discussed I should go for the forward base with Space and Guild. It's a good one in general. Also was very good for defensive purposes
I would have
and also
loved the
aggressively.
Chum Rush. I would have loved the Chum Rush because I saw that Lolgek was buying some shares. Then I started buying. I'm guessing. Then he said, "Okay, let's go full red. These guys
Oh
are
yeah.
full red." And but yeah, yeah, you saw the opportunity, you took it. I agree. That was very well done.
I'd like to know.
That basically crippled us for the rest of the game, probably.
I'd like to know as well. I saw you hesitating on bounty quite a bit. But you never ended up using it. Why was that?
Sorry, what was the question?
Smuggler's bounty. I didn't see you end up using that, but I saw you hesitating on it quite a bit. So why did you decide not to use it?
Because we already have enough Solari.
Yeah.
That's one. And second, if I use it, I cannot vote for myself, right? I cannot
Well,
get money from if I vote for myself.
You can transfer influence to your partner. Like for example, when you had that maxed out influence, and then your partner can vote for it, like for you, right? And then
Oh, yeah, that's
he
probably
gets
smarter,
all
yeah,
the
yeah, I
money
agree
that he
with
can transfer it back, right? So like,
Yeah, that's probably quite smart then. I forgot it actually. It's quite smart, I think. Yeah.
yeah, it's all good though. Like like you could have just like as you said, like right, you didn't need Solari, they did. So it's better to prevent them from getting what they need than giving you something you can't use at the moment. You know what I mean?
Let's be honest. When I got the Spacing Guild region over there, I already knew this. We have
that
to
was
kill.
good. Yeah,
So,
Exactly.
there. And the map gen, you know, we all Doom players love to blame map gen, right? So I'm just gonna do it for fun. But map gen was so uncomfortable for me to try to do something about you. It was there was a mountain in between.
Uncomfortable for you, maybe for me.
No, it was for against Harkonnen is usual deal, but sometimes Fremen only have one deep desert. I had two deep desert against both of my enemies. And one of them have like rocks, that is smugglers one. So my attack from the back on the spies was literally just to get your army coming back. That was the only idea. But yeah, it took me like forever to do it, and yeah. But yes, I guess main lesson is in 2 you don't have time. You have to make the manpower building
yeah,
as
map
fast as
is
you can.
important. Yeah.
No, this yeah, it's just so important that regardless of whatever suicidal strategy you want to make, if you don't do that, you're gonna get killed, as we got in this game, sadly. But it was a good. I mean, we lasted an hour, so not too bad, as predicted, I would say.
Less an hour. Let me see. It's way less, I think even.
Yeah, a little bit less, like.
No, it's 1.5 speed, so it's about
No, I
45
mean,
minutes. 40
yeah,
minutes.
45 minutes. It says in your victory stream.
Yeah, but it's game time, so it's 1.5 divided by that.
Oh, really?
I think so. Yeah. So it's 40 minutes something.
I thought that the game time was like objective. Let me
No,
see
no,
what
no,
that
no,
is.
no. I think 40 minutes.
And the game time is if you would play on 1x.
It's 40
No,
minutes something.
the game time seems about right. It's 12.
No, it's 1.5.
No. When it says it's 2 hour on a 9 game, then it's not. So it counts as if you would play 1x.
We play
Oh,
1.5.
really?
You can check
Yeah.
it out. Yeah, play 1 month, then resign or I don't know, and then you can see it says 15 minutes instead of 10.
Oh, so it's 10 minutes per month?
Yeah, on 1.5.
Alright,
Oh, okay.
good game though, boys. I think I'll end the recording here unless anyone has anything to say. So.
No, Logak, you won!
Yeah.
I mean, let's be fair.
And
So,
we killed the tiger!
so the smugglers retreated. The smugglers retreated at first. So
It's
the
an
victory is ours.
illegal
Sorry.
to killing tigers.
Yeah, I'm afraid for tigers. I killed
No,
them.
no.